Welcome back from the commercial break. Now, lots of people in diaspora would usually purchase property either for speculation or investment purposes as they work over there overseas. Now, we've got a seller of land to diasporans or Kenyan diaspora, and we're going to have a chat with him to find out, is this Ardhi Sasa helping him as a businessman? And welcome to Property Focus. First, we have to sanitize. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Now tell us about yourself.
Wachira is my name.
Pleasure.
I have an English name, Chrispus.
Yes.
A few people know me under that name.
Now, what steps would somebody in diaspora take in order to purchase property?
The diaspora market.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a good question.
Yes.
I think importantly, it is advisable to carry out a proper due diligence. A due diligence that is both edged. Number one, let the person in the diaspora understand who he is dealing with, the vehicle or the means that he is using to get to his destiny. And if it is matters lad, so identify an organization that is credible, an organization that you have faith in, an organization that is known also locally, that would help you. That is now carry out a due diligence on that particular vehicle. Number two, it is important to carry out a due diligence on the property that you are intending to buy. Is it land? Yes. Carry out a due diligence. What does it entail? It entails a few things. Number one, authenticate that there is that piece of land. It is important so that you don't buy hot air or you don't just get a dream sold to you. Number two, just do not authenticate by making a visit or having somebody witness for you that there is land. Ask for documents. And now, just do not list that documents have been given to you. Documents are not issued by the organization that is helping you get to your destiny. They are issued by government. And therefore, it is important now to go to the next level, authenticate the documents that are in your hand by visiting the relevant agency, particularly a land registry. Over there, you'll carry out some exercise called a land search. And a land search will reveal whether that piece of land is really there. And if it is, yes, then it has the right documents. And if it has the right documents, it is with the right owner. So that will give the buyer the comfort of now knowing their land is there. So what do you do next? It's a conveyancing process. And so you involve a legal counsel. It is important because the process has some legalities. As I said, it's a conveyancing process. It is important for the buyer to have an advocate who is now involved in this matter. And he can elect his own advocate, or he can seek to be assisted if he so wishes. I know there are honest people who would not really present to a buyer a quack. And in any case, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, you will always authenticate that he is a practicing advocate via a practicing certificate and a number to it. This is the person who will do for you this contract between yourself and the organization that is selling to you that particular piece of land. It must go through that legal process. Eventually, there is no cash-to-cash transaction. For purposes of good evidence and good records for that matter, then you'd need to go through the banking system or an electronic system to make your payment. This is for records And in the event that there is a dispute at some point, you are able to really say this is what happened against a legal document called an agreement or a sales agreement. So that way, the individual in the diaspora have considerable level of comfort that now I can proceed. Importantly, at the tail end, the buyer must have his own title. So the title must, like I said, go through a conveyancing process. And the advocate in place will be able now to ensure that upon full payment in the sales agreement as agreed, then the title is transferred to the new owner. So buying land, you say you have authentic land when the title is transferred to your own name. Then you can show a title deed as a document of ownership. That way, they will not lose and they have confidence.
Now, what are some of the tips that you can advise anybody in diaspora whenever they are purchasing property? What is one major fundamental tip that you'd like to give somebody?
Simple, proper due diligence. Don't just listen to stories and cosmetic talks. Don't just listen to promises.
Yes.
Affirm and confirm that whatever you're being told is real, it is true. I think that is very, very important. That is what is lacking. If you authenticate by a way of a due diligence, including the organization that is working for you, the issue of land, it is back to back. The entire supply chain, so to call it, you must be in control of it and make sure that you are able now to authenticate that.
Thank you very much for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. You have to go through a couple of thorns to get that red rose. It's not just cosmetic talk, ladies and gentlemen. That's the hard truth. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
Brilliant. That was Mr. Wachira as a land seller with how he's benefited from our disaster.